Welcome back to Grassroots Media. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Terry's Flooring, Sam Broyles, and Kyle Donahue Show, where we cover everything on the court with the Chucky Doak Black Knights and Lady Black Knights basketball teams. As always, I'm joined here with boys basketball head coach Sam Broyles and girls basketball head coach, associate principal, athletic director, everything here and there, Coach Kyle Donahue.
That's me.
Coach, we got a special guest with us today.
Yes, sir.
We got wrestling coach Brett Knight with us today. Brett, how are you doing today?
Doing fine. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. Coach brought you on the show today. We had wrestling this past weekend, I heard.
We had a ton of wrestling here.
So take us through that this past weekend.
Go ahead, Coach.
We had the sub-state sectional tournament from Knoxville to the whole entire East region here. And wrestled all day, had a good tournament. Everything turned out well. We're proud of it.
How'd some of your performances go?
Not what we wanted it to be, but I've got a young team, freshmen. We're growing.
The experience is what was necessary, though.
Yes.
Yeah, he's done a phenomenal job so far. I guess this is year 2 in the wrestling program for him. Done a good job. We've got a lot more kids out this year. We started the middle school program. So we expect some big things coming out of wrestling. And to host sectionals was an honor. It was a lot of work, but it is nice to get it here and to show the wrestling community that we're behind our wrestling team. And we only had one wrestler in the sectional, but like he said, a lot like Coach Broyles' team, young guys. You can't really replicate the big time tournament experience in practice. So it was good for his group, and they're doing a good job.
How cool was it for you as a host in only your second year to be able to host sectionals like that?
Oh, it was a great honor to be able to do that. Like Kyle said, it's a lot of work.
Oh, yeah.
But we were honored to be able to do that.
How many man hours go into hosting a sectional?
Well, let's see. It's Monday.
Okay.
Right? So we
still
started.
working.
Yeah, still trying to get it cleaned up and everything, but it's taken a while. From all the planning, make sure you got everything. We had to make a wrestling sheet and a everything else sheet. So what goes into just the wrestling? We need the wrestlers. We need the mats. We got to have everything that goes into it, and then you start talking about everything else. Well, we got to have concessions. We got to have the coaches love, so I'm told, a great hospitality room. So we had to make sure we had a good one for them.
Media likes it too.
Yeah, shout out to Pizza
Shout
Inn.
out Pizza Inn, yeah.
Pizza Inn, what? Join in this Saturday for Pizza Inn.
10 a.m.
10 a.m. Check out that guy's face. On last week it was him and Lamb on there. Normally it's you and
Brooks.
Mr. Brooks. All kinds of guests. Maybe we'll have a wrestling coach get on there. We'll see.
But looking forward to the future, too. You talk about sectionals being over with now. Looking forward to the future. How excited are you for next year and the crop that you've got coming up?
I'm very excited. We've got about 6 or 7 freshmen that have shown a lot of talent, and they're catching on really quick. And I want to thank Randy Shelton from Greenville High. They brought their mat and helped us out.
Shout out to Coach Shelton, my
Before
coach.
he leaves, he's really done a good job raising the floor of our program. We can't wait to see where it goes. The ceiling, sky's the limit. But speaking about raising the floor, check out Terry's Flooring for all your flooring needs. They are excellent at helping you not only raise your floor, but, Coach, they put down good floor, too. Check them out, terrysflooring.net.
Coach, give it to him. Give it to him,
Hit
Coach.
him with it.
Hit it with him. Boom.
You don't know what that is. Do one. Watch how cool that is.
But, Coach, we appreciate you coming on. We love having you on. Love talking about other sports. I know that's something we do a lot. We did in the spring a few years back where we talked about all the other spring sports.
Yeah.
So it's cool to get other coaches on here and talk about
Yeah,
other
especially
sports.
We call them small sports, but they're not, they're not small in terms of what they do and their impact on our kids, and they're just small in revenue. And that's why we call them small sports. But they're all equally as important in our athletic department. We try and make sure we're as fair as possible. We don't cut anybody out and undercut anybody. We try and have everybody have the same opportunities. And basketball may not be the sport for everybody. There's a lot of kids that wrestle that don't play anything else, or that just play maybe football or something. So it's great to have that outlet and that avenue.
How about that?
That's awesome. And we're back. It's great to have that outlet and that avenue for them to be able to participate. Move your jacket over there. That's what's causing it. It's not seeing our
I don't believe it's not.
Oh, it's Coach Knight's.
Wrestling?
And move that caution tape. You never know what's in a AD's office. There's all kinds of stuff. Caution tape and everything else. But it's great to be able to highlight those that don't get highlighted enough. I know that you guys do a good job of making sure pictures and stories get written. But it's good to see their face and put them in front of the people. And they do a great job as well. I'm not working any harder than any other coach, just because we have a coaches show. Coach Knight works really, really hard. He's an assistant football coach, and then he goes straight into wrestling, and then right back into football. So it's
year-round duty.
Yeah, year-round duty. So it's nice to highlight some of these people, and Coach Knight's one of those guys that's doing a good job for us.
Appreciate you, Coach Knight.
Thank you.
Roll on out.
Coach, we talked about senior night last week. Previewed the Cherokee game. Ended up getting a 60-31 win in that. Did you like the second half of the show last week? I know you watched it.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Okay.
They touched on a lot of things. I said, "What about popcorn, girls?" Nobody mentioned.
We forgot about popcorn. They even mentioned
they all
that.
Went, "Oh!"
As soon as we ended it too, they forgot about popcorn.
Yeah, they're a great group of girls. Without them standing outside the door this time, we could talk about them. They're a great group, and they really work hard every day, and they really mean a lot to our program. Not only within games, but outside of games, like I told you last week. And they're always, most of the time, smiling and having a good time, making jokes, usually at my expense, and that's okay. But it's going to be a tough night when this is the last one. But it was good for us to have senior night here.
Picked up a 60-31 win also, talking about how great senior night was. How great of a victory was that for you, getting a 29-point victory?
Sure. First half was tight. I can't remember what we went into halftime, but we made some defensive adjustments and decided to do a couple different tweaks. And from then on out, we were rolling. Got some turnovers. Defense, led into offense, and we did a good job pushing that lead out. And it's always great on senior night to be able to pull your girls out or guys, be able to pull your seniors out and have one standing ovation just for them. And that's means a lot to me to be able to do that for them. As hard as they've worked for the last 4 years for 3 of them, and Layla's worked just as hard for the last 2, to give them that opportunity to show our appreciation strictly to them and nobody else. That's pretty cool.
Coach, let's go through the back part of your season. Also, your regular season ended on Thursday night too with Cherokee. Last time we had sat down, we had to talk about South Green and University High, and then adding Cherokee to it. So take me through this back end of your schedule here to finish out the regular season.
Well, it's been tough. We've had to do it without Gavin Crum. He's especially in conference averaging 15 points a game, and you take it away. Cherokee game, we lost by 7.
Mm-hmm.
So he was a big loss in those games, and it doesn't look like he's going to get to play first round of the tournament. We'll see. They might clear him tomorrow, but, it's a wait. Wait and find out, especially as far as the coach is concerned. South Green, we didn't play, to our best ability. That's the game he got hurt, was playing without Dom. So, it all kind of collided at one time, which didn't help. And, it's South Green senior night, and they played really well that night. The UH game, I thought we played well. Dom's first game back. Took him at least till after halftime before he got going. We played a lot better second half with UH. So, I'm looking. We've had 2 decent contests. The first game we should have beat West Green and didn't. Lost by 2. So I'm expecting them to come out even without him. And, giving it all they can. It's be this group's first time in a big time tournament. We played in the Thanksgiving. We tried to replicate some of that in Christmas tournaments, but it's not the same as your district tournament. I mean, it's do or die now. You either win or you go home. So that's what we're facing tomorrow night.
It's the most exciting time of the year also with the postseason upon us now. It's pretty much what the whole entire 2.5-month season leads up to until now. It starts tonight on Monday with the girls' action. I know you won't be playing until Thursday night because you've got the first round bye as the 2 seed. You all will be playing tomorrow night. Before we talk about that too much, we need to get a word in from our sponsors first. So we'll be right back to preview that district tournament here on Grassroots Media.
For more than 30 years, Tommy's Plumbing has served customers in East Tennessee with licensed and professional plumbing services. From installing your new faucet to replacing your existing piping system, our team at Tommy's Plumbing is trained to handle the job with professionalism, attention to detail, and integrity. By offering warranties on most products installed by our technicians, Tommy's Plumbing stands behind our work, ensuring that your plumbing needs are not only met, but that your problem is solved for the long term. When you need reliable and professional plumbing service, Tommy's is the only call to make. So give us a call today and let us show you the Tommy's difference.
At Terry's Flooring, we have quality products along with quality installers that can make your space look better than ever before. The craftsmanship that our installers bring to the job site is unmatched. Along with the great installers, we have a huge selection of hardwood, LVP, tile, and carpet. We know that spending money isn't that easy, but at Terry's Flooring, we care about your money too. Stop on in and see my Popsy at Terry's Flooring and allow him to save you money while enjoying the hassle-free experience.
Welcome back to Grassroots Media. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Terry's Flooring Sam Broyles and Kyle Donahue Show, where we cover everything on the court with the Chokey Doke Black Knights and Lady Black Knights basketball programs. As always, I'm here with boys head coach Sam Broyles and girls head coach Kyle Donahue. So the postseason's upon us now. Talked about it right before the break. We're moving in to the district tournaments now. You get the first round bye as the 2 seed going into Thursday. You're in the 4-5 matchup with West Green tomorrow night on Tuesday. So since your game's first, I'll let you go ahead and go first, preview that West Green matchup. Take us through what you expect tomorrow night in your first round district matchup.
Well, West Green has been very good of late. You know, they had, last second shot against South Green, Hampton. Your top two teams, West Green is, that close to beating either one of them. So we know that we're playing a team that could win the whole thing. So, we've been able to play with them this year, and we feel like even without Gavin that we can give them a good game and maybe pull off an upset tonight or tomorrow night.
And then going through to you, of course, you get the first round bye
Sure.
with that 2 seed, but you play either West Green or Happy Valley. Won't know until later tonight, I guess, a little after this is released. But I know you've probably prepared for both teams. You played them twice this year. You know their tendencies. You know both teams pretty well. So take us through what you can expect in maybe your first round matchup with each team.
Let's take Happy Valley. They play hard. They play aggressive. For us to play them, we got to make sure we get the ball out and down the floor and cause a little havoc defensively. But they bring, like you all said, just because it's tournament time doesn't mean that you're invincible and you can go out and just play. You got to make sure we prepare. We got to make sure we run our game plans. And just because we beat them twice doesn't mean anything. Anything can happen in a tournament. It is nice to have a little bit of cushion as far as that first round bye. That kind of is a little a breath that you can take going into the tournament. But at the end of the day, you're going to win the tournament. You're not going to get the first round bye.
Yeah.
Right. So it's nice to have that bye that we already know we're in regions and we got at least 3 games left. But we got to make sure we go take care of business. And then West Green, they're playing. I said it last week. They're playing as good as anybody. They've got a good inside-out game. Over here, we didn't shoot very well, and they took advantage of it. And some of those girls that don't score as much stepped up and made some big-time shots. So we got to make sure if we play them that we settle down. The outside shooting, and we got. I think Morgan's. It's no secret that Morgan's the one that leads that group, and I've said it before. You can tell she's the unquestioned leader of that group. Something I told my girls, and I really like watching her and her game. She's all the time giving high fives. She probably leads the league in high fives given, but she is constantly supporting the younger girls and pushing them to be better. And not saying our seniors don't do that; they do a great job of that. I just think she by herself does a good job, really well of making sure they're all on the same page and uplifting those guys. Without her, I don't know what they would be as far as a team. she not only is the scoring leader, but she's that emotional leader as well, and she does a really good job. So, obviously, you're going to have to stop her. Shipley inside is tough. You got to stop her as well. And what Shipley brings defensively is that matchup inside in the middle that, forces a lot of people to change their shots. So we got to make sure once we get it to the paint, we get good shots and we knock down shots in the paint. I think we had 1 million shots. I think that was on the stat sheet, 1 million shots in the paint. We didn't convert those, so we got to make sure we convert. If we shoot our normal percentage, I think we play much better. But it's almost like, talking to the girls, it was almost like once we started seeing shots not fall, it almost was a domino effect of, this next one's not going to fall. Mm-hmm. So we got to make sure we have a next play mentality. Everybody's nerves are going to be tested in this first round, no matter who you play. Everybody's going to be nervous. It's a chance at a championship spot. So everybody's nerves going into it. But once the game starts, we've got to make sure we match up to what we're doing offensively and defensively and settle down and run our stuff. There's us, West Green, and Hampton, and I'll throw South Green in there probably, and Johnson County's all. Let's just say all six of us.
All 6 teams.
Let's be politically correct. All 6 teams have a good shot at winning this thing, and so you got to make sure you put yourself in position to take care of your business. You can't worry about championship game or region tournament. You got to focus on the here and now, and it's good for us to be able to get a couple days worth of practice, so we can also practice, work on us, but also practice for who we're going to be playing as well. So that's the advantage of first and second. You get to a little bit more practice, and so we gave them the week off. But we're looking forward to a good tournament. Hopefully we knock down some shots. But we'll be ready come Thursday night, whoever it is.
When you go into the district tournament, is there any sort of different preparation once the week starts or once your regular season ends? Do your practices change a little bit? Do your meetings change a little bit? What is your preparation going into a district tournament like?
That's awesome. What's your prep? You have a little bit less time.
Well,
We tried to schedule so that we knew that tournament starts on Monday for girls, Tuesday for boys. So we tried not to butt up against that weekend. So we played Thursday. That's why we had our different. It threw us all off that week.
No Tuesday, Friday.
We played Monday and Thursday, and it was a weird week.
Oh yeah, you did play Monday.
Watching game film, pulling them all in there to show them, every type, what they're going to see tomorrow night offensively from West Green, what they run defensively. To see who had good games against us and, other things, like the game they had against Cherokee. Just things that we've shown that, some of the things that we can do that replicate other teams, showing these boys that and trying to prepare them, get ready. But, at the same time, you don't have a lot of days.
Yeah.
And, the worst thing is this midwinter break on this tournament every year. Usually we're getting ready for the championship game on Tuesday. The midwinter break, and see we're a week behind. So now the first round of the tournament starts, is the end of the midwinter break. So it's a little different this year, trying to get people here that's not sick. We're dealing with sickness. Coach is dealing with that too with his teams. But, preparing them like that and then seeing what we can do different. You can't do the same things you've done all year. You got to have something new, new wrinkles.
Mm-hmm.
To confuse, West Green or that team that you're, getting ready to play.
For us, it was a little bit different, so we have a little bit longer. So after we played on Thursday, we ended up giving them the week off, or the weekend off, not week. That'd be crazy. Just to heal and recoup. It's been a long season. I know.
Really
I've watched some of the other coaches' shows. Shout out to all the other coaches in the county. But, a lot of them have talked about it's been a long season. You want to be playing your best basketball going into it. And I think Coach Hosey talked about it. He played, 4 games in
4 games in 5 days.
Yeah, so you gotta make sure you're staying in condition, but you also have to get them off their feet a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to burn them out going into the tournament, and then you you hit a wall right there in the second half of a game. So there's a fine line, a balance between the two. So for us, we got back in the gym Monday morning and got some work in, and then we'll, it was mostly us things, shooting and running and different things, and we'll start game plan prep on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then play on Thursday. So there's, you don't want to go full blazing into the tournament. You want to work your way to it so you're exploding. I think Chip Kelly, we tried to do it in football. One of his big things was, normally in football, I don't know what you do. When you do your coaching shows for football?
Depends which ones. Coach Kaler, Wednesdays after practice.
So what we tried to do typically is Thursday was your slow down day.
Okay.
But Chip Kelly was talking about your, you got a flashing light.
I see that. We've got time.
Chip Kelly was talking about your Wednesday is your slow down day, so that you're not taking 2 days of slow down from your end of practice on Wednesday to Friday night. You're not doing much. So his was full go on Thursday, slow down on Wednesday and focus. So, there's all kinds of different methods to the madness. It's, up to individual coaches, and really it's about reading your girls or guys and seeing where they're at. We've given them a day off that I really would like to have that day, but you read them and you're like, they're just dead. So you don't want to push them too far. They're high school kids after all. They're not elite college or professional athletes. They're high school kids, and you just got to listen to them and watch their bodies, how they move and everything, and make sure you're playing well in the tournament.
I'd like to bring it up, but I can't get it up right now. I'm having trouble connecting to
good old Wi-Fi.
The server. Yeah, but talk about how to get to Unicoi County from Cookie because I've done that with every coach's show this week leading up to the district tournament. Now I know it's tougher to get there for some teams now with the floods and with the Irwin Highway Bridge being knocked down. So talk about how to get here, how to get to.
Well,
Unicoi
we would have just went out here to the 107.
Exactly.
Hit the end and gone over. It was nice and easy. Now we've decided we don't really know what's the fastest. It's either go to Jonesboro and go up, hang a left there at the McDonald's, hang a left there at McDonald's and go to 26, or go through Johnson City, go over by Happy Valley and get on 26 that way. What do you think? What's quicker?
So you don't know a route as of right now yet. Okay.
I've got till Thursday.
Okay. Other shows I've been able to talk about the route
I
to
may
go.
Scout out a couple routes. Which way y'all go tonight?
Or tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
To me, it would be a whole lot easier to go up through Johnson City by the mini dome.
Yeah.
The way we go to Happy Valley, what he's talking about. But you can turn
Chipotle
right
on the way.
You can even turn right before you get on that exit that you're talking about, exit 23. But exit 23 would be your best bet.
Yeah.
To go come in
and then hook off at exit 57A.
Not exit 23, but exit the
26, isn't it?
Yeah, exit 26.
Milligan, go Buffs. Spent a couple years there. It's lunchtime.
Oh, I get it. I was wondering
School
what that
lunches
beef
have
was.
started.
I don't know that it'd be any quicker taking that Jonesboro
I don't know.
all the way out. 'Cause
Yeah.
You still got to go all the way out.
You try one Tuesday
But you
night,
can go
you try
a little-
one Thursday
You
night.
can go a little quicker on the interstate, though.
Yeah, that's true.
No red lights. Who knows? Who knows? We'll make it happen.
One of you going to try it Tuesday, one going to try it
Yeah,
Thursday.
yeah. You take the slower route.
Time it, see how long it takes.
I'm going to have to
there.
get by a Chipotle, though.
I've only ever been once.
Chipotle's my life.
I went at the wrong time, too. I went at closing time. They were out
Oh,
of
yeah.
everything. I
That's-
said, all right, that don't count then.
Ask them for a little extra.
They were out of fried rice. They were out of chips. They were out of everything. I
What the
said,
heck?
nah, I can't count
There's
this.
one
as my
right there by the
first
mini
experience.
dome.
Yep.
Check it out.
There's two in Johnson City now. How
Yeah.
about that?
Yeah.
There were none when I was in college.
Sad times.
I know. Well, we got a red blinking light up there that tells us we got about 17 seconds left until it's going to cut us off. So, fellas, once again,
Appreciate
I
it,
appreciate
man.
you sitting down with me. Coach that was with us earlier.
Yeah, Coach Knight.
Thank you all for watching this week's edition of the Terry's Flooring, Sam Broyles, and Kyle Donahue Show. Look forward to seeing you next time here on Grassroots Media.
Go Black Knights.